Transmitter device activated. Coordinates set for Earth 2.
Hey everyone, welcome to another special episode of the Earth 2 podcast, your weekly exploration of the DC Comics multiverse and the legacy of their Golden Age characters through the Silver and the Bronze Ages of comics. I'm Peter Watson.
I am Elliot S. Maggin.
I'm Kenny Smith.
I'm Steve Higgins.
I'm Jim Beard.
I'm Christine Panton.
I'm Rich Fulham.
I'm Megan Nicole.
I'm Dr. Bob. And I'm Dr. Husband.
I'm Caitlin Higgins.
This is John Bowen.
I'm Stevie Day.
This is Paul Kent.
I'm Hugh Campbell.
I'm Ali Steele.
I'm Logan McFarlane.
I'm Vince Hunt.
I'm Ian Parr.
And I'm David Steele. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of the 14th annual Justice League Justice Society crossover. It's not really a Justice League Justice Society crossover this time, is it? But it's published on the 3rd of August 1976. It's issue 136, Law of the Sixties, of Justice League of America, and Peter is going to tell us about the cover.
It's a bright white cover at the top, the line of DC Superstars. 30 cents, number 136, November. The production code is 30555, approved by the Comics Code Authority. Underneath the glorious Justice League of America shield, we have a caption box that says, "The Super Champions of Three Worlds face a crisis on Earth S." And there's a fantastic battle scene on this cover, and because it's got the white background, it really stands out. In the foreground, we've got the Joker, and he's being punched out by Batman. But it's the Earth 2 Batman, as there is no yellow oval on his costume. Behind him is his no longer kid sidekick, Robin, in his updated costume, and he's leaping down to kick the Shade in the face. My goodness, Shade's retaliating with his ebon cane. And in the background of this cover, Hawkman is flying in, swinging his mace at Dr. Light, who's blasting him with his light gun. It's action-packed, this cover.
Oh gosh, I'm going to be contrary straight away. I like this cover, but I think it's terrible in equal measure. It's the absolute lack of background. You don't see Hawkman below the waist, etc. My favourite thing about it is that the Shade is zapping Robin in his right shin. Because obviously, Robin's right shin is his Achilles heel.
Yes.
It's obviously, its simplicity is its strength in many ways, but I when you said a fantastic battle scene, I thought, are we looking at the same comic here?
Vive la différence.
It's a rudimentary, almost lazy fight against a white background. It's not the most dynamic by any stretch. Compared to next week's cover, it's Anyway, that's enough of my negativity. Jumping straight into the story. A very dynamic. See, this is a much more interesting splash image. Again, we get a bit of captioning that kicks off saying,
"Back again in their 14th annual team-up, the Justice League of America and the Justice Society of America."
And there's a roll call caption in the top right-hand corner, which reads,
"Batman and Robin of Earth 2.
Bulletman and Bulletgirl of Earth S.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl of Earth 1.
Mr. Scarlet and Pinky of Earth S." And this is a great image. I think it's metaphorical rather than literal, listeners. See Earth and space, and there's giant versions of all of the heroes that we've just listed in that roll call. And basically they're sort of detecting and examining Earth. Batman and Robin are basically pulling up the coast of what looks like North America to see what's underneath. Batman has a magnifying glass. Hawkman has something in his right hand and he's digging around the Atlantic Ocean. Hawkgirl standing beside him. She has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in land. We see in the bottom left-hand corner, Bulletman and Bulletgirl. Bulletman shining a torch across what looks like the Atlantic Ocean, and Bulletgirl reaching in. Maybe she's spotted a fish that she wants to grab. And in the bottom right, we see the figures of Mr. Scarlet and Pinky. Mr. Scarlet has a magnifying glass in his left hand, holding it quite far away from his face, to be honest. And Pinky, we can't really see what he's doing, but it looks like he's got a hand on the west coast of Africa. They're obviously doing some detecting, and there's a huge ton of captioning going on here.
"The most cosmic mystery of all time. Not just a whodunit, or even a howdunit, but a what did he do as well. To wit, what did the monstrously evil King Kull do to alter nature itself? How did he take life from the living, and with it make the non-living live? And for the clues, 8 of the greatest detectives of 3 Earths must scour an entire world. But, whatever the answers, one thing is certain. It is definitely not nice to fool with Mother Nature. You want evidence to prove it? Read
Crisis on Earth S. So, over the page, listeners, and there's another scroll caption which has the credits and some other stuff for this issue.
Continuing an incredible odyssey into madness unabashedly assembled by E. Nelson, 12 Heroes, 5 Villains, Bridwell, Plot and Continuity, Martin, You Gotta Be Kiddin', Pasco, Wirtz, Dick, My Hand is Broken, Dylan, and Frank, Mine Too, McLaughlin, Artists, and Julius, What do you mean you want more money for this job? Schwartz, Editor. Resuming with Chapter 3, The Volcano Connection.
Isn't that song by the Muppets?
Someday he will find it.
Yes. Anyway, the first image in the story properly is basically what looks like a volcano erupting. We can see it throwing pink clouds of ash and rocks up into the sky. Flying down above it are Hawkman and Hawkgirl and Bulletman and Bulletgirl. Hawkman kicks things off as he says,
Volcanic activity in the Canadian Rockies.
Then Hawkgirl says,
That's not common here in your world, is it, Bulletman?
You bet your beak it isn't, lady.
I was afraid so.
The planet is Earth S, a parallel world similar but not identical to our own. It looks like your typical Earth. The topography is familiar, but, as Hawkgirl has already noted, the situation now confronting our heroes is anything but typical.
And we see that Hawkman and Hawkgirl are using their maces to swat away the rocks that are being fired up towards them from the volcano. Bulletman and Bulletgirl flying underneath. There's a nice, interesting... as Hawkman gets rid of one interruption. Bulletman and Bulletgirl alight, and as they do, they see a few people standing around.
Bulletgirl, look at this. These people weren't even touched by that erupting lava. And yet...
That's not cooling magma, Bulletman. These folks have been transformed somehow into volcanic rock. Beats me how it started, but we've got to stop it.
Yeah, they basically look like statues. 4 people standing, wearing normal clothes, but deadly still. Their faces dark and grey. Very, very scary.
Meanwhile, a hideout on the Rock of Eternity at the exact center of space and time echoes with the sound of gloating, courtesy of a perfectly nasty person you may have met before.
It's the hairy helmeted figure of King Kull. He's looking at his crystal again. We can see Bulletman and Bulletgirl flying through it, and he says,
Stop it, Bulletgirl. King Kull thinks not. The human race has long deserved its imminent annihilation, especially here on Earth S, where the human worms overthrew the dominion of my beastmen and committed a racial slaughter that left only me alive. Your compatriots on Earth 2 may have fared unexpectedly well at resisting my machinations, but if you're expecting a similar occurrence here, what is that expression you humans use? Ah yes, don't hold your breath. Ha ho ha!
We cut back to the Hawks and the Bullets, with Hawkman saying,
Since we're unable to stop the eruption, I suggest we apply our efforts to advising the people below to flee from it.
Just as well that we get out of here. The sound of that thing's beginning to give me the creeps.
Yeah, almost like it's laughing at us.
And underneath their conversation, we see a large, really weird sort of echoing... Bulletgirl spots that there's a weird grey shadow appearing on Hawkman's right shoulder.
Hawkman, your arm!
Yes, the transformation you observed began to affect me. Another reason it's best we keep our distance from the volcano.
We're still up in the air with the heroes at this point. We can see on the ground down below lots of people milling around. Bulletman calls to them.
Warning! Volcano erupting to the north! Run for your lives!
Hawkgirl joins.
Hurry! The lava will reach you in minutes!
And down on the ground we're with some of the hapless members of the public as they evacuate the area, either by car or on foot, carrying their possessions. We see a conversation taking place between 2 people, a blonde woman saying to her balding husband, These people with the wings, who are they? I've never seen them before. Have you, Harry?
Muriel, come on, will ya? Move! Cripes, we're gonna end up like Pompeii and she's bird watching.
And a young woman can be heard saying,
Where's Captain Marvel? Why isn't he doing something about this?
Funny you should ask, lady, because we're about to go where the answers are, namely, the New York studios of TV station Wiz. where a newscast delivered by a curiously young broadcaster is already in progress.
And we see a very familiar figure. The red sweatshirt, the yellow collar, black button eyes, holding a script, the TV camera pointing at him as he says,
Good evening, this is Billy Batson. At the top of the news tonight are bizarre natural phenomena all over the world. Off the coast of Alaska, a huge iceberg was seen moving through the water at speeds of up to 60 miles an hour. And that's not all. Fishermen in the boats it passed were inexplicably transformed into human icicles. While in the Garden of the Gods in Colorado, rock formations came to life and tourists in the scene were turned to stone. Witnesses to both occurrences report that the sounds made by the animate scenery resembled human laughter.
A very striking image of the mountain range basically roaring up in human form almost, and very like we saw at the volcano, a number of humans standing around frozen to the spot, their clothes and their skin turned into rock. And under the image, we hear a strange echoing sound. We cut back to Billy Batson in the studio.
Now hang on to your hats, folks. Here's the topper. Something has completely blocked out the sun, causing a permanent total eclipse in one hemisphere, while in the other, a new artificial sun has appeared, turning night into day.
And then Billy gets a close-up off camera as he thinks to himself,
It's a nightmare, and I can't do a thing about it. I don't know why, but when I tried to become Captain Marvel this morning, I said SHAZAM, and nothing happened. No magic lightning, no boom, no nothing. Holy moly! Holy moly indeed, Billy. Don't look now, chum, but it's going to get worse.
A member of the TV crew leans in towards Billy, handing him a piece of paper, saying,
This just came off the wires, Billy. Put it on the air.
And Billy looks startled as he reads,
Another incident of an inanimate object suddenly springing to life has just been reported in this city. Construction workers on a high-rise site at 29th Street and 8th Avenue have apparently turned to iron, while the building's steel frame is now walking away.
Top of the next page, a scroll caption reads,
Chapter 4, The Sting of Laughter, the Splash of Tears.
And to echo what Billy has just told us, a caption reads,
At that moment...
And we're with Batman and Robin, of Earth 2, remember, with Mr. Scarlet and Pinky, and we can see in the background the steel frame of the skyscraper walking away. In the foreground, some of the construction workers lying on the ground and their skin has turned to metal. It's terrifying looking. Batman leans down towards them to examine the bodies and tries to say,
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Mr. Scarlet asks,
What did he say?
Robin replies,
He said it's incredible, and I think he's talking about the grins on their faces.
And Pinky, obviously a bit slow in the uptake here, says,
Robin, what's the matter with the Batman?
We can see that the right side of Batman's face is turned a sort of dull matte grey. Very interesting. Robin helpfully clarifies.
You'd have trouble talking too if half your jaws had been turned to steel. But never mind that now. Look at them. No question about it, those death grins are the mark of a villain from Earth 2, the Joker. But he's not supposed to be here, much less have come out of retirement.
We cut away from the heroes to see two men watching them from an alleyway. There's one chap, older-looking man, wearing a pale top hat and holding a handkerchief up to his nose. He seems to be crying. And standing next to him, with wide eyes, a wide grinning mouth, swept back green hair. Obviously, this is the Joker, who says,
Oh, mercy me, Weeper. Just look at the silly twits, so confused. It's scrumptious. Positively scrumptious.
And the chap by his side replies,
How can you laugh at what happened to those poor men? You all can imagine. They're so sad. So terribly sad.
Dry those crocodile tears off that lugubrious puss of yours, you whimpering simp. You should be delighted. Our test of my new Joker toxin was such a success. I feel like celebrating, like running right out and festooning myself in baubles, bangles, and beads.
And on that, we see the Joker and the Weeper standing outside a jewellery store. The Joker says,
Oh, my. Leave it to the Joker to flit right along on the skirts of happy chance. For what have we lucked into here but the local festoonery?
And with a... He fires a little capsule from his chest, which we see exploding inside the jewels in the next panel with a... It explodes, sending green gas out into the air as patrons and staff whirl in shock as the Joker and the Weeper stand in the doorway. Taking this all in, the Joker says,
"Make haste, my lachrymose lackey, and let us purloin a pearl or two."
As the gas starts to drift around the poor unfortunates inside the shop, one man with glasses laughs against his will, saying,
"What's this? A cloud of gas?"
A blonde woman, also affected, says,
I can't breathe. That's funny. I don't know why, but it's funny. Funny.
Top of the next panel, the Joker and the Weeper are walking away from the jewelers, with the Weeper saying,
"Those poor people, laughing themselves to death. And there's nothing to laugh about. It's too sad."
Well, you're the only one crying, Blubberlips. Look, even the jewels are dancing with joy. I've heard of mood rings, but this is ridiculous.
It looks indeed like the jewels and necklaces are bouncing out the shop, happily following them. Very bizarre.
Drawn by the sound of the commotion, the dynamic Joe and Mr. Scarlet and Pinky hurry to the scene. But too late.
Our four caped crusaders arrive at the shop, and inside they see that all of the staff and patrons have been turned into crystal. They're frozen solid. Terrifying. Robin says,
"It looks like the Joker, all right, but with a new and deadly twist."
Maybe, Robin, but he's not alone. I thought I caught a glimpse of another criminal escaping, the Weeper. He's an old foe of Bulletman's, who is capable of the most brutal murders, but sheds crocodile tears for his victims.
Something has caught the eye of Mr. Scarlet. He looks down and points and says,
"Look at this. Strange scratch marks on the sidewalk."
Batman attempts to answer.
What did he say?
And Robin answers,
"The only thing hard enough to do that is diamonds. Well, what are we waiting for?"
They form a trail, so let's follow them.
Sure, why not? With the crazy things that have been happening around here, I wouldn't be surprised if the stolen jewels walked off by themselves.
An astute remark indeed, but our stalwarts are not to know just how much so. At least, not yet.
Our heroes have obviously followed the trail into a building. We can see the windows behind them. Robin and Mr. Scarlet descending the flight of stairs that Batman and Pinky have already walked down, and Pinky is listening closely to a door, to which Mr. Scarlet says,
"Careful, Pinky. We don't know what we might be blundering into."
Mr. Scarlet's right. Don't forget, we were dispatched here by the gods of eternity.
To intercept some scheme of King Kull's. With a heavyweight like him, you don't mess around.
While inside the rundown brownstone,
we see the Joker and the Weeper standing with some goons. The Joker looking very proud of himself as he says,
"It was simply magnificent, just as Kull promised. The jewels followed us out of the store."
And the first of the goons quite reasonably asks,
"Do we have to feed them?"
And his pal says,
"I can't get rid of these things. Any fence takes one look at them and..."
"They're not alive, just a smidgen restless, shall we say. Besides, fencing the little lovelies is your problem. I'm only interested in foxing the Batman. And on that account, I've already gotten my jollies." Just then...
Yes, with an almighty... Batman, Robin, Mr. Scarlet and Pinky burst through the door, with Robin saying,
"Okay, Chalkface, freeze."
"Heavens to Betsy, it's the Caped Cop Squad."
"How sad. How cruel. We're going to go to jail." "Sad but true,"
says Robin, leaping forward and grabbing the Joker by the lapels as Batman moves forward and punches out the Weeper. We then see Mr. Scarlet and Pinky making short work of the two goons, as the Joker then grabs his lapels again and thinks,
Time for me to pop my... But before the mirthful malefactor of Earth 2 can pop his laughing gas button, Mr. Scarlet pulls his infrared ray pistol and...
Yes, this is brilliant. With a... He zaps the Joker with a burst of, well, scarlet energy, I suppose, saying...
Laugh this one off, toothsome.
As the Joker can only exclaim... Ah! The Weeper looks terrifying in the next panel. His face is all shrouded and his cape and hat are a lot darker, but he takes his turn and throws a little canister forward, which explodes with a... As he says...
I don't think there'll be much laughing anymore. Like they say, misery loves company. And frankly, folks, I'm lonely.
Instantly, thick, acrid clouds of tear gas billow up from the floor, constricting the heroes' throats and stinging their eyes with a vengeance. They falter, momentarily overcome. All except one, that is.
And we see Robin, with a small case open in his right hand, as he moves something up to his left eye.
With protective contact lenses and tiny nose filters in place, the acrobatic ace vaults through the thickening fumes towards his melancholy quarry.
You're not affected by my gas? Now that is sad. Terribly, terribly sad. Since you get off so much on sobbing, Weeper, allow me to oblige you. Here, get a 4-handkerchief cry out of this.
And with a... He knocks out the Weeper. Fantastic.
And when the noxious vapors begin to clear...
Robin says to his pal of many years...
You okay, Batman?
He'll be just Jake once we get him outside. Poor guy, with his jaws practically immobile, it's a wonder he didn't choke to death.
Mr. Scarlet has found something on the unconscious body of the Joker.
Hey, get a squint at this, guys. An exploding button. Probably what the Joker used to overcome everyone in the jewelry store.
Presently, in a New York City police lab...
See Batman and Mr. Scarlet standing, with Batman looking at the little capsule that Mr. Scarlet found. In the background of this laboratory full of test tubes and equipment, we see a blonde man in a smart suit. Mr. Scarlet is saying...
It'll take just a few minutes to analyze the gas that thing discharges.
And the man in the suit says...
Greetings, gentlemen. You're right on time. Do you have the button you mentioned when you called? How'd it go?
Weird. Very weird, Bulletman Jim. The stuff in that button's incredible. It turned Batman's jaw to steel and made Jules walk.
As Mr. Scarlet holds up the button for a closer look, a caption below him says...
Our heroes know the police scientist? Indeed, for his name is Jim Barr, secretly known as Bulletman. Presently, as he completes a painstaking analysis...
Yes, we see Jim holding up a test tube as he says...
Sorry, fellas, the juice from the button is nothing more than concentrated nitrous oxide. Laughing gas.
But that's impossible.
Jim hands over a clipboard saying...
Look, you can check my report. Here.
Batman takes the offered item, saying...
What this meant? I know what you're trying to say, Batman. According to this, that gas isn't even deadly, like the usual Joker toxin.
And then we see something rather odd has happened to Pinky, because he asks...
So what turned my hair to diamond?
My goodness, that's happened off camera. Gosh.
Puzzled, the heroes follow Jim Barr as he steps into the shadows of a nearby alley and withdraws from his briefcase the familiar gravity helmet and costume of Bulletman.
Yes, we see him putting his helmet into position. Batman and Mr. Scarlet keeping guard, obviously, as Robin says.
I don't see what's so confusing. All of these weird happenings are way out of the Joker's league. Geez, guys, must you be hit over the head to realize this is Kull's work, what we were sent here to intercept?
And indeed, we cut back to the man in question, watching Robin on his special crystal as he leers at the camera and says,
The young do-gooder is quite correct. A pity, however, that you're still left with no recourse against the inevitable destruction of humankind on Earth S. Ha ho ha!
Suddenly, back at the heroes, Hawkman, Hawkgirl and Bulletgirl run up, with Bulletgirl waving some paper at the other heroes and saying,
Hey fellas, wait up!
Bulletgirl!
Look what I just grabbed off the AP photo wire.
There's been an outbreak of weird crimes on the dark side of Earth, and on this side too. We've got some pictures.
And Robin, looking at a photograph of someone very familiar, says,
The dark side? Small wonder I'd recognize that creep anywhere. The Shade.
I recognize the other one. I've seen photographs of him in the Justice League casebook. His name is Dr. Light.
Light and shade. Figures, doesn't it? With half the world in perpetual daylight and the other in constant darkness? People, I think we've just tumbled to Kull's principal agents here on Earth S.
These two baddies have been spotted in Europe and the Western U.S.,
says Bulletgirl. And Bulletman says,
The four of us who can fly can get there fastest, so let's get going.
The criminals may have been alerted whom to expect. I suggest we switch partners.
Hopefully to confuse them,
concludes Hawkgirl. We see Bulletman, Hawkman, Bulletgirl, and Hawkgirl flying off, as Batman says,
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
They'll need it if the way things have been going is any indication.
If only the Marvels were here.
Chapter 5. Chaos in Chiaruskaya Rao.
If someone knows how to pronounce this, send us a voice note and let us know. A caption returns us to the story, reading,
Speaking of the Marvels, Mary Marvel, Batson, and Freddie, Captain Marvel Jr., Freeman, have joined Billy Batson at Wiz TV.
Indeed they have, and Mary is in the middle of saying,
And it's happened to us too. I say SHAZAM.
And I say Captain Marvel, but nothing happens.
Billy, holding up some paperwork, says,
I wonder if it's related to the strange things that have been happening all over the world. And to stop them, Mr. Scarlet and Pinky, Bulletman and Bulletgirl are teaming up with superheroes nobody's ever heard of before. But they're not having much luck. Holy moly, I don't know how the menace to Earth can be stopped without the Marvel family.
There is an abrupt shift in location. The caption reads,
Paris. There's one in this world also, and it too is known as the City of Lights. But now it struggles to prove that name apt, for, in a stroke of cosmic irony, it is enshrouded by darkness, when it should be bright with day.
We're outside a very, very remarkable, very fancy-looking building. We see Hawkman and Bulletman descending to the ground, but also we see a silhouetted form with a top hat carrying a cane. And he, spotting the heroes, cries, By Erebus! It's the Hawkman of Earth 1! And then he rushes into the building, which helpfully Bulletman identifies when he says,
Hey, Birdman, the Shade's ducking into the Louvre. Do we follow him?
Unquestionably. Inside,
we see a number of people of different ages and styles of dress milling around the room, and also a number of regular 1976-looking people who seem to be stuck flat, high on the wall. As Hawkman and Bulletman arrive in the doorway, and Hawkman says,
What in the name of Polaris?
All the people have become paintings, and the paintings have become people.
And that's very obviously, I think, the Mona Lisa at the front.
That I can see, Bulletman. The question is, how? But no answer to the Winged Wonder's question is forthcoming.
Hawkman and Bulletman move into the room, and we see the Shade, who again waves his cane, saying, Lovely, lovely. Not only will I make off with dozens of masterpieces, but my accomplices will be the paintings themselves. Now then, my canvas compatriots, attack! And we see a man in a long purple coat pulling a sword on Hawkman, and another figure in armour moving towards Bulletman.
Before the animate paintings can strike, the Thanagarian policeman flaps his massive wings, creating a mighty gust of wind.
And this sends the lads who were squaring up to Hawkman and Bulletman flying. Bulletman, very impressed, says,
Just in time. Though alive, they're still made of canvas.
Bulletman gets a close-up of the next panel as he holds up his hand, which we see is being surrounded by a weird green glow. He examines it, saying,
When the living objects get close to humans, they seem to cause weird transformations, Hawkman. Like the ones affecting Batman, Pinky, and you. I could feel it beginning. My hand turning two-dimensional, like the paintings. But it's stopped now.
Perhaps so, my odd helmeted friend. But as this blast of black light should indicate, your real troubles are just beginning. He gestures with his cane. A beam of black shadow falls over Bulletman and Hawkman.
Hey, he's escaping, but I can't see where to.
With that, the blackguard mounts his mysterious cane, and, with a thrust of solid shadow jet propulsion, rockets out of the Louvre.
We see the Shade. It almost looks like he's riding a broomstick, soaring up into the air. Our heroes follow, with Hawkman saying,
Let us pursue him.
I don't need to be told, mister.
And we see the arc of the Shade's black light curving up through the air.
Come on, we'll follow the trail of shadow, but stay out of it.
Unnecessary, Bulletman. Having recognized the Shade in his photograph, I equipped myself with Thanagarian infrared contact lenses, enabling me to see in the dark.
Very fancy, but I've got to deal with this rummy on my own terms. Namely, with the speed of a bullet.
And we see the Shade and Bulletman speeding past the Eiffel Tower. Take a drink, listeners, why not? It's an important landmark.
But the human projectile comes up with a trick no ballistics expert has ever heard of. How so? Well, when was the last time anyone saw a bullet make a U-turn?
Yes, and with a fantastic sound effect. Bulletman arcs and turns flying back towards the Shade.
It's all in the gravity helmet. You see, it repels bullets, so properly controlled, it can repel the metal tip of the Shade's cane as well. Neat, huh? There's a certain Duke of Darkness who doesn't think so.
Yes, because as Bulletman flies towards the Shade, his helmet glows, and then we see the end of the Shade's cane glowing, and he drops it, and then he plummets from the sky, yelling, "Yeah!" Hawkman swoops after him and catches him in both arms.
Seconds later, on the ground, the Shade is having trouble talking. And no wonder, after that spectacular tumble, his heart is in his throat.
You see the Hawkman grabbing the Shade by the scruff of his jacket, saying,
"My lenses enable me to see the satellite hovering over this hemisphere, no doubt causing the darkness. Is this your doing? Speak!"
"Oh, very well, yes, I'm responsible. I control it with my cane." Hawkman takes the Shade's cane from him. Starting to manipulate it, he says,
"As I thought. A small matter, then, to reverse the... Great Polaris! It's useless!"
"By Erebus! That's impossible!"
Cut to Yellowstone National Park, favorite of tourists and bears alike, famous for its hot springs and geysers, and the breathtaking falls which attract two celebrated visitors, Hawkgirl and Bulletgirl.
Yes, we see Hawkgirl and Bulletgirl arcing down towards the falls, but we also see in the foreground some discarded clothing, which suggests to me that someone has gone swimming.
It is not the falls that interest this duo of daring damsels, but, as this zoom-in on the falls shows, the inexplicable fact that they are falling upward. Once more, with heart-stopping suddenness, the bizarre pattern repeats itself. As, in the split instant after the woman noticed that tourists have been turned into water, their falls spring to malevolent life.
We suddenly see hands emerging from the water. This is terrifying.
Now you'd think our heroines have enough trouble, right? Wrong. Enter Dr. Light and his company of doppelgangers, all running on light rays, as is their wont.
We see Hawkgirl and Bulletgirl looking on as a number of identical Dr. Lights are all running about on beams of light in front of them. Bulletgirl's astonished. She says,
Who are they?"
Dr. Light! And it's probably not they, it's he.
If only one of them is real.
But don't let it fool you, Bullet Girl. Those light mirages are solid, and just as dangerous as the original.
And Dr. Light, or one of the Dr. Lights, speaks, saying,
"Most enlightening, milady, but unfortunately your little speech is futile. Soon I'll have trapped you, and that will truly be a feather in my cap, for it will lure Hawkman and the rest of the Justice League into a trap and to the death I've long planned for them. Forget about escaping me, it's hopeless, and if you want to know why, just look below."
And we see the steaming columns of water bursting from the ground, curling towards our two heroines as Hawkgirl says,
Geysers! Reaching for us! Like living things!
With airborne alacrity, the pair dodges the jets of scalding water until they reach the upper basin, where they are almost knocked from the sky by a sudden eruption of the mightiest geyser of all, the Excelsior, dormant since 1888.
Yes, there is an enormous... as a huge column of water bursts into the air, sending Hawkgirl and Bulletgirl flying.
Thrown clear by the force of the impact, Bulletgirl sees...
Hawkgirl, her wings are soaked. She can't maneuver. Thanks to Thanagarian science, her body is conditioned to endure extremes of temperatures, briefly. But unless I get her out soon, she'll be scalded.
Heedless of the threat of tremendous water pressure and high temperatures, Bulletgirl knifes through the torrent of hissing water,
and she grabs Hawkgirl and flies her clear of the steaming geyser. The two women are now flying back down towards Dr. Light as Hawkgirl says,
Thanks, Bulletgirl, for my life.
Don't mention it.
All right, I won't, but I will say, to use one of the not-so-good Doctor's atrocious puns, that I'm delighted to take him out.
And she pauses because Dr. Light has changed.
What? Another transformation?
He appears to have turned into solid wood. But even worse, Bulletgirl looks down at her right arm and says,
My arm! Petrified!
Suddenly, as the real Dr. Light turns to petrified wood, the heroic pair discovers the light duplicates are sentient, as...
Yes, this is horrendous. We see the 5 light duplicates chorusing together.
Help us, please. Get weapon from Master Light Effect Satellite. Turn day back to night.
The satellite?
Maybe the new sun is the satellite, and it isn't just switching night and day around, but causing the transformations too.
Maybe. Let's get the weapon and find out.
And we see Bulletgirl trying to manoeuvre Dr. Light's light gun out of his hand as Hawkgirl says,
Careful, don't snap his petrified fingers.
With all the speed her mighty wings can muster, Hawkgirl speeds towards the satellite high above, aims Light's bizarre weapon, and...
It's moving, but that's it. I'm affecting the satellite, all right, but not the way I'd hoped.
There's a slow dissolve.
Dejected, confused, the heroes regroup, and though their criminal foes are apprehended, the job is not yet finished, and they are less than content.
Yes, we see Robin with Mr. Scarlet and Pinky, and the Shade and Dr. Light have been put in a prison cell. Robin is saying,
I was sure that with the Shade and Dr. Light behind bars, the trouble would be over.
And casting an eye at the villains, Pinky says,
So much for that theory. My head still looked like a Tiffany lamp.
Don't look at me! By Erebus, I can't understand why you couldn't shut off the satellites either. Robin snaps his fingers.
Wait a minute. We're doing this all wrong. If we can move the satellites...
And a smiling Bulletman says,
Hey, yeah, I think I catch your drift.
As do I. I believe you're suggesting that since it is possible to move the satellites with Dr. Light's weapon and the Shade's cane...
Yeah, we could move them toward each other.
Precisely, thereby causing them to collide.
Hawkman and Bulletman have obviously just gone and done this. Hawkman using the light gun to move one satellite, Bulletman using the Shade's cane to move the other. And then, indeed, as Hawkman says, the two satellites are brought together with an enormous...
And so, with their experiment having proven successful...
Yes, our heroes have all regrouped. Batman looks very happy as he says,
My jaw! I can talk again!
And Hawkman, also very happy, looks at his arm saying,
And my shoulder has resumed its normal state.
Mr. Scarlet, with a handful of the Joker's ill-gotten gains, then contributes,
Swell. And the jewels the Joker ripped off have stopped jumping around. Everything's normal again.
Including Pinky's hair, which we see has returned to normal, and presumably Bulletgirl's right arm.
There is one individual, however, who is not so jubilant at this latest development.
Yes, we cut back to the dastardly King Kull staring into his massive crystal as he says,
Bah, blast those super-normal humans. Again they have thwarted me. I'll see them pay, for I am even more determined to destroy Earth 1.
While in the Rock of Eternity, the immobilized SHAZAM ponders his fate.
Though powerless to send the magic lightning that transforms my young friends into the marvels, I am yet assured that Mercury has sent them to the one being who can help them.
Johnny Thunder?
And we see a familiar, crew-cutted figure approaching Mary, Freddy and Billy. He says,
Hey, are you the guys who say Shazam and then...
Shh. I don't know how you know our secret, but...
You blow our double identities, blabbing them out like that. You turkey, whoever you are.
And Billy Batson concludes matters when he says,
Holy moly!
A concluding caption reads,
Just what is Johnny's mission? Full details plus a super battle on Earth 1 and the big showdown at the Rock of Eternity. Next issue, be here for a crisis in tomorrow. JLA 137 December, on sale the first week in September.
My goodness. Listeners, that's been Chapter 2. Thank you to all of our guest voices for taking part. Peter, What should our listeners do if they've enjoyed the episode?
You can write to us and tell us all about it. You can email us at theearth2podcast@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us on social media because we're putting up some lovely bonus material for this and, of course, every episode. On Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky, we're at the Earth 2 Podcast, and on Twitter, we're at podcast_Earth2. And it is the number 2 for all of our socials.
It certainly is. As I always say at this point, if you're enjoying what we're doing, please consider going to wherever it is you receive your podcast and leaving a review, or sharing one of our posts on social media, or going to our coffee page and buying Peter the price of a beverage, as he edits all these voices into something approaching coherence, and indeed edits my narration into something approaching coherence. Isn't that right, Peter?
I'm far too polite to comment.
Oh, God, listeners, I've had an absolute nightmare with this one. Right, but not to worry. Hopefully you won't be able to tell. So, that's been part 2. Join us and our guest voices next week for the conclusion of the 14th annual JLA JSA team-up on
The Earth 2 Podcast.
Transmatter cube activated. Return coordinates set for Earth Prime.
Dry those crocodile tears off that
Hang on, we haven't said... Oh, we have, right. The Joker says... Right, sorry.
Dry those crocodile tears off that
lugubrious.
Dry those crocodile tears off that lugubrious pug of yours, you whimpering simp.
Puss. It's puss.
Dry those crocodile tears off that lugubrious puss of yours.
It's not pus, it's puss.
Dry those crocodile tears off that lugubrious puss of yours, you whimpering simp.